Hey guys, one of the most important numbers you're going to want to understand before you retire is just how much you spend every month and how that's going to change over time. Vanguard has this really great free tool called the Retirement Expenses Worksheet. I'll put a link to it in the notes below. But essentially what it lets you do is come over and you put in your monthly expenses. So $1,000 for mortgage, $300 for property taxes, and homeowners insurance. It's not very customizable, but it does cover a lot of the categories. So we've got housing expenses, food, transportation, healthcare, personal insurance, personal care, family care, miscellaneous. You can hit the calculate button and it will tell you how much you're spending. So in this case, you can see $1,400 per month. You can't save your data, so it's just really kind of a one-time use it, and then you lose it when you leave the website. If you were going to make some adjustments or changes, you have to come in and do it again. So now I'm going to compare and contrast Vanguard's retirement expenses worksheet with the retirement budget calculator. Okay, so now in the retirement budget calculator, you'll notice we're still assuming $1,400 of expenses. We break it down a little bit differently because now we have loans and liabilities, so we can have the mortgage there at $1,000 a month, auto pay. It does not go up with inflation, and we'll say that this expense gets paid off in the year 2025, so we can see the budget changing over time. And then, of course, in the housing section, we have $300 a month for property taxes. Now, this is going to go up with inflation, and it never gets paid off because even when the house gets paid off, you still have to pay your property taxes. And then, of course, we put the insurance in there under the insurance tab. And you can see homeowners insurance, $100 a month. It's going to be set up on auto pay, and it's going to happen that it goes up with inflation, and there's not going to be an end date associated with it. So you can add rows as necessary, and you can customize this completely for you. Once you enter the expenses though, let me show you a couple of things here. So first of all, over on the quick view report, you'll notice we have the expenses broken out by type. So housing, the mortgage, and then the insurance. Of course, right now we have all of that designated as an essential expense. So one of the neat things about the retirement budget calculator is if you only want to show or if this was a discretionary expense, then you could mark it as discretionary, so you could really start to dial in your spending between what's really essential versus what could go if things got tight and you had to scale back. And then, of course, we give you a calendar view of expenses so you can see how that expense is going to occur every month. Now, one of the neat things is because we put a deadline in there, right now we're looking at July of 2020, but what happens if we go out to 2026? Remember, in the future that mortgage is going to get paid off. So in the future, in 2026, all you're going to have is the homeowner's insurance and the property taxes adjusted for inflation, and your total expense is going to be $478. But you'll notice if we go back to the year 2020, then we still have this mortgage of $1,000 a month. So one of the neat things about the retirement budget calculator is that we let you be very granular, save your data, add expenses unique and customizable to you. We allow you to put in whether or not with an expense that if it's going to occur monthly or weekly or semi-annually. So we just give you a lot of control so you can really start to dial in to see how that spending is going to take place over time. Remember, retirement again is all about cash flow. It's all about making sure that your income matches up with your expenses. And if you want to really have a great degree of confidence heading into retirement, you really need to take some time to understand how your spending is going to work and how it's going to change as you transition into and through retirement. Thanks so much.